it takes you up to the point where we start talking about the magazine. And this is what we're now going to be covering, because the magazine has got all these articles that has the actual words of the nurses and everyone else. He also wrote a book about the history of the hospital. And so we've also got what Bush, Colonel Bush,
hello,
actually said to him, and that's it also in the book. So we got quite a lot of him being like a narrator, and he's typing away, and it's actually as if it's in 1930. But the first tapping there's some tapping that needs to be done from 1916, because he's introduced at the beginning. And then we'll actually have him basically acting as the narrator, explaining it all. And then interspersed, once we've done him, we'll then be having Bush doing two pieces, which is essentially just explaining why, and then he talks much emotion about some guy dying, basically. From a continuity point of view, he's going to pick up a bloody photograph and put it down again, and God knows where he's going to put it. So we'll take a photograph for continuity's sake. And that's where other people who've got cameras, I'm quite happy then you shooting from the side, because it's close-ups of him putting the thing. So it could well be an over-the-shoulder shot, which I think Dave will do, and then everything else could be just in front. So there's a little bit of camera work that we can do there. Then if we've got time, we just might do some other shots of him just around the desk. There is one bit where this is the crucial shot, and it's right at the end. He actually takes paper out of the typewriter, right, and he puts it on the desk, so we're going to have to move the desk forward when we do this. He puts it on the desk, and it's got to match exactly the shot of his book, which is actually on the wall, which we actually photograph for real. So it's one of those moments where we're being a bit too cheap for our own good.
Yeah, it's about 800 tomorrow. Right, I'm going to hide the lab mic, is that right? I'm going to hide it.
Yeah. Nice coat, thanks Tim.
Just drop that. When did I sleep? Just drop down the front of your shirt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What made it more interesting as well is...
I've warmed up the end, so it won't be such a shock.
Yeah, I'm going to say, that's normally a rather nice woman in a tank top. What it usually is.
So you normally wear a tank top, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, how did you get the job? I mean, come on.
From then onwards, broadly, he's just going to follow.
yeah, I'll just make sure there's enough of it.
Just at the same minute. Laurie, can you give me a sound check, please?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was Colonel Bush's idea, and it was he who offered the prize.
That's it, lovely.
It was Colonel Bush's idea, and it was he who offered the prize of 6 briar pipes for the winner in a competition for naming the magazine.
Camera's running.
Rolling.
Mark it. Camera's rolling.
Shot 8, take 2, 3. Sorry.
Action.
We were all blessed by time with the convalescence. Men whose regard is a treasured possession. Many a name comes to mind, many a face, clear cut and character marked. They have, of course, now gone their ways. Some went back to the turmoil and strife, and some back to Australia. But the pleasure of their presence lingers, and always will linger, as long as memory lasts.
Cut.
Our soldiers in hospital, and in training camps, we applied the pocket flashlight to the side tracks of
Cut. Yeah, that'd be good. What timing?
We applied. Or was it before that?
We'll go from the top. No. That's the angle you have to put it at. Keep running. Keep going. That's it. Lovely. Okay, and action. And hands away. And cut.
But the pleasure of their presence lingers, and always will linger, as long as memory lasts.
Today, you can still find a few surviving copies of Powell's History of Bishop's Knoll, and all the editions of Cooey can be found online. No, that's it.
Otherwise, it goes all over the place. When you... Right, how's that for the background now? The background is lovely, actually. Yeah. It's really dark. There's a very tight.
I have an idea, Mr. Powell, which requires your expertise. The entertainments that you have been so good at laying on, with the help of our Bristol compatriots, have been very well received, and I hope will continue. But I have in mind us publishing a magazine directly from this very hospital, with the content provided by yourself and our patients, for the benefit of their fellow soldiers on the front line.
And action.
Perhaps it is in night time that those working in a military hospital realise more fully the grim tragedy of war. During the day, the men seem to have a secret code that compels them to keep a tight hold on themselves. "Shut up and think you're lucky to be alive," they would say to a grouser. And a one-armed Jones will grin with delight if he can fling an orange across the ward and catch Smith unawares. An additional twinge of pain is no matter to either, if it brings a laugh with it. It is in night time that suffering wells uppermost. It is in the stillness afterwards, when wounds have been dressed and the poor fellows sink into a sleep of utter exhaustion, and you are brought up close to the spirit of suffering